Hey everybody, Grant Richards here, also with Todd Beddard, and we are sitting here with Rich Scola, and we are really excited to have Rich with us and be able to talk about a great big decision that Rich made and his partner Adam, and we want to be one of the first to welcome Rich and Adam with Streetview Properties here in Charlotte to eXp.
Right.
And we're really excited to have you on board, and looking forward to really growing this thing and helping your business expand as you are looking to do. And we'd just like to know, I know there's a lot of agents out there that may be in your same situation with the size and the scope of business that you have, that are making the decision maybe to move over to eXp. And I think with maybe what you can help us with today, why you made the decision, what you're looking to do in your next year in 2020, might help them to make that same decision a little bit easier, because I know it wasn't an easy one for you. So maybe if you could just take a few minutes and tell everybody who you are, what you're doing, your business currently, and where we go from here.
Great. Well, thanks, Grant. Thanks, Todd. Hello, world. Like Grant said, change is never easy. My name is Rich Scola. I've been a licensed agent here in North Carolina since 2007. Originally from New York. I was a New York City fireman, retired, and moved with my wife, Andrea, and my 3 kids, Richie, Mia, and Jack, to Charlotte, North Carolina. Got my mortgage broker's license and real estate license in 2007, and that really kind of started my journey in the real estate business and getting my feet wet. And everybody knows what happened in 2008 and the years ensuing, and so it was a painful time to break into the business, but it was also forced me to do some things that were a little bit outside the box. To drum up business and think about the approach to building my real estate business. So fast forward to where we are today, we're on pace to do over 500 transactions.
Wow.
In North and South Carolina. We're in our office here in Huntersville, North Carolina. We have some handful of agents and transaction coordinators, and this is kind of where we make the magic happen, per se. So we're super excited about eXp as a vertical. We look at it as an additional vertical within our business that we're adding in going into 2020. I only regret when Grant and Todd mentioned this to me in January, almost a year ago now, that I didn't take action sooner. But sometimes circumstances in business are what they are, and I just didn't give it. Really, I didn't give it the look that Grant and Todd suggested. Was, hey, block out all the noise and just put yourself in a room and give yourself 20 minutes and give me your thoughts on this. When I first saw it, it resonated with me, but I had so many things going on at the time. It was tough to focus on how I would integrate this, or at least. Back then I perceived that it would be difficult. Now I realize it was much easier. It's going to be much easier, and it has been very easy thus far. So super excited about eXp this year.
Rich, with your current business, is it general brokerage, or you do some other stuff a lot on the investment side, right?
Yeah, we do a combination of primarily general brokerage. That's where we'll have probably, it's almost the end of the year, a few more days left. We're going to probably be doing over 500 transactions this year.
Wow.
That's across North and South Carolina. So we're super excited. It's been a great year. We're in a really big growth stage. So that's one vertical, is the general brokerage. We also have a different vertical that we do with investor clients, and that we do a lot of build to rent, infill stuff in and around the Carolinas and in and around Atlanta, Georgia. In 2019, we did 78 build to rents. So that's a whole separate vertical, and we have partners that we JV with in that vertical. And then we also have a fix and flip model. So we're on pace in our fix and flip model in Streetview Properties. We're probably going to do about 186 properties between Raleigh, Greensboro, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, and Atlanta, Georgia. So we've had a great year there on the fix and flip side as well. So we have a couple of different verticals, and we look at eXp as an exciting new vertical for us in 2020 as we expand into a bigger footprint in the Southeast and ultimately, hopefully, across the whole country with eXp.
So with the markets that you're in, and I guess the reach that you have, so you obviously work with a lot of investors, but you also work with a lot of realtors too.
A lot of realtors, yeah. I actually am always reaching out and trying to build my network of realtors. We've got more capital that we have to deploy than we can find deals that make sense. Again, I'm speaking on the investment side. So we work with a lot of realtors and are always looking to expand that pool of realtors that have those types of opportunities for us across the country.
Now 500 deals. I mean, that's huge. I mean, you did that in 2019, and now you want to expand into 2020 and do more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
I know you can't see the gray, like because I keep it short, but
I got some I can share with you.
But yeah, no, it's been a great run, and I couldn't do it without a great team of people and support that are back here. But yeah, our goal. One of the things we've experienced big time in 2019 was, we do about $100,000 a month in marketing for avenues to generate inbound leads for distressed sellers and things, or maybe retail sellers. And a lot of times we don't have the footprint outside of our main markets to service those potential folks that are looking for, a retail listing price. So when I saw eXp, one of the things that I don't hear people talk about, but I tell you about it, that was really exciting for me is I said, wow, I've always shied away from building a big brokerage, with agents. Number one, it's some people are very good at it. I am not, and you have to really nurture agents, and not that I don't want to spend time training. It's just my business is pretty dynamic in the different verticals that pull me. So I always shied away from recruiting agents, and I always worked with agents on a relationship by relationship basis. I saw eXp, the light bulb went on. I said, wow, what I've always struggled and shied away from, I could really have a lot of success because I could build a team within eXp and bring on agents that can help me grow my business, but really their business. That's what I love about the eXp model. It's not doing it for a particular firm. You're doing it, you're working in lockstep with each other. And I have the ability, I bring some value in what we can offer from all these leads that we get, that we can now work with agents that come on our team with eXp, and we can give those leads for them to work and help them be successful. And ultimately their success will lead to our success. And I really thought that was a great way for us to grow the brokerage side of it in 2020. So that's what I'm super excited about.
You're wanting to utilize, your activity in 2020 and all the advertising that you're doing, and get the help so you can be successful as well as maybe other agents as well across the Carolinas.
Well, across the Carolinas, we have a lot of markets outside the Carolinas, like I alluded to, that we do business in. Really across the country, ultimately, I have a lot of relationships. Just over the years, as many of the folks out there I'm sure have, you just in networking and conferences, and I never really thought that I'd be able to share something like this with other agents that are across the country that I know. So, but I've done that here just recently since I came on board with eXp, and the response has been pretty overwhelming. So it makes me feel like I'm in the right place.
That's really exciting. I love to see the growth happening with businesses, and it looks like 2020 is just going to be a banner year. And I know you do a lot of research in the market. You kind of look at industry trends and kind of see what's going on. And I know you've kind of watched the whole iBuyer situation. Tell me a little bit about your view about the industry. Where's it been? Where is it today? Where is it going? Maybe next year, next couple of years?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that I through 2000 after the market crashed, I had the opportunity to connect me and my partner Adam, who's on vacation. He's not here, but we were able to help launch one of the largest single-family rental companies that owns 20,000 single-family rentals across 14 markets. We were fortunate to help them launch their platform in the Southeast in 2011 and 12. We were fortunate enough to be aligned with them and help them grow their portfolio. And one of the things that did is opened up our eyes to what the institutional money that was traditionally before the crash was really in multifamily. You know, what's happening in the single family space is what's happened in the multifamily space 30, 40 years ago. Where now all this Wall Street money, and you're probably seeing it with the iBuyers and some of the big single family rental companies. So all this institutional money, we were able to be involved in a lot of that and run in some of those circles and see how the technology, which it does, you know what Uber did to Yellow Cab and what Amazon did to Circuit City, right? I mean, it's just technology is the great disruptor. So there's no secret, and there should be no reason why real estate will be something's not going to happen here in the real estate market. And you're seeing that. You have these iBuyers, and everybody knows the big three: the OfferPads and the Open Door and the Zillow offers. That's what everybody knows. But I can tell you, there's probably 100 other ones that are localized. That the institutional money is funding, and they're out there aggregating inventory as well. So it's been really unique to see how this space has evolved, and that's what was so interesting when I saw the eXp model. It's inevitable that the traditional brokerage model is going to change. So I have my license with a friend of mine. And I had essentially a 95-5 split. There was no nickel and dime fees. It was just, it was, everybody has different split levels. So some people might say, well, why would you go, if you have that and you own the business and you do all this transaction, why would you go to eXp 80-20? Because what was really cool is when you look at the eXp model, 80-20 on the surface, yes, it's 80-20. But really when you peel back the onion, it's really 100%. Because if you're doing any kind of consistent business, you really get that money back, pretty quickly. So that was really, really appealing to me. Yeah. And I thought that was a really ingenious way to approach and empower the agents themselves as opposed to the firms, like where you have all these big name firms out there. And, I know agents over the years, as you guys do, they got a 80-20, but it's really, 70-30 or 65-35, because there's all those other fees and franchise fees and stuff like that. So
I think something else you've shared with us before is you've got a brand yourself with Streetview, and the fact that we'll talk about that a little bit and how that matches up with eXp.
Yeah, so I was saying I had, my license hung with Austin Banks for years, and I just kind of ran my business through there. Steve's a great friend of mine. One of the other things that really was intriguing is the brand that we have under Streetview Properties. We could use our Streetview Properties brand, which everybody knows us as, and put it powered by eXp. We didn't have to necessarily move my license like I have and then be Rich Scola, the eXp Realtor, right? It's still Streetview Properties and it's powered by eXp. So I love that co-branding that they offer, because it's really a way for us to integrate that into as a vertical within our umbrella and still brand Streetview Properties. So that was a great thing. That was really kind of cool that they allow you to do.
So when you're looking back through the industry and your business and wanting to grow, you had mentioned about wanting to start possibly your own brokerage, but you thought of the liability factors, you thought of all the headaches of having to manage and all of that, and
build the infrastructure.
And all
Todd had asked me and Grant what I felt from a liability standpoint was appealing, and one of the things about eXp, and one of the things I alluded to earlier was, bringing on agents. There's a certain level of liability there, and I never really wanted to expand brokerage because as the broker in charge, the BIC, the owner, that ultimately falls on you, and that could be a great liability, to be honest with you. So Some of the folks that have done it successfully, much better than me. So that's one of the reasons why I never really developed a bigger agency. Was because that always scared me, was the liability of having other agents out there doing hopefully ethical, maybe unethical things. No, so that was one of the things that I really liked about eXp, is it takes the liability completely off of you as a BIC, because everybody's an individual agent with eXp. So eXp is the BIC, and Rich Scola is an agent, and then I'm on, Grant's team and Todd's team, and they're individuals. So that was really appealing to me. Very exciting.
So the liability piece was a big struggle in your mind about the brokerage, and then you take a look at the eXp side. You're not a small company. I'm $50 to $100 million a year. I mean, you've got infrastructure, you've got systems, you've got people, you have a whole system in play that you just can't say, yeah, I'm just going to go to eXp, right?
Right. No, that's a great point. And that was, that was something that I had to really think about. And what was comforting is when I looked into how high tech eXp is and their technology platform, all the things that I had concerns about, those concerns were answered as I looked into their back office systems, which were user-friendly, high-tech, efficient, all the expense that I incur trying to provide those things as a brokerage to the agents and to my staff, it's plug and play, which is unheard of. It's great. So it's
you
really big comfort for me
Yeah.
to make it. It's been a seamless transition. It's been great.
So you have the beauty of basically having a brokerage without having a brokerage, but having the liability covered by eXp.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
That's awesome.
No, it's been a tremendous comfort for me, and now I really see this from a brokerage standpoint as something I can really build a huge team across the country, which is exciting. I love the fact globally, right? Yeah, that's you never know, but I love the fact that you're not limited geographically with this model. I mean, because you really, unless you're going to go out and put a brick and mortar and take on that expense and overhead and that investment capital that's required to get an office off the ground in a remote location. Well, this you could do just by having a conversation with people that you have a relationship with that are brokers,
Right.
whether no matter how big or small they are. I mean, it's whatever floats your boat,
Yeah, whether they're here in the U.S. or Canada or UK or Australia.
Yeah.
Other countries are coming this year, I heard. I mean, it's just, you can expand your whole team globally.
Yeah, I guess you could have an eXp empire. No, it's like I've said it before, but it's really it's ingenious the way they put this together, in my opinion, and I think it's really going to take the brokerage space over the next several years and really turn it on its side.
Well, the cool thing about eXp is there are mega agents like yourself with huge teams, huge systems, great infrastructures that have done it before you. There's going to be others that do it after you. There's other agents that are single agents, and everybody is in this whole mix, and we have the opportunity to talk with big teams just like yourself and tell them the benefit. I mean, how would you tell
Yeah, well,
how would you
I
guide
mean,
folks?
just from personal experience, when we were first talking, you guys first introduced me to eXp, all these concerns, and as much as I loved it and it made sense, I had all these things that we just talked about, people and infrastructure and overhead and systems. But to be able to, you guys pointed, I was able to speak with people like AJ Maida and guys that were doing business on a big level, and how did they pivot, and what were the landmines, if any, that I would be, that I could sidestep. And really, the only landmines is what's in your mind. Really, the way they've set it up for companies like myself to transition over has been pretty. It's been seamless, and it's impressive how they have it set up.
So by basically setting you up with somebody that maybe has a like model like yours was very helpful.
Always, yeah. You guys were quick. Like, hey, I know exactly who you need to talk to. And it was like you guys picked up the phone. That person jumped on with me. We did a Zoom call. The introduction, and oh wow, this was very similar to me. All right, that makes sense. Not that we couldn't talk the language because we're all in the business, but little nuances to having a bigger staff or a bigger operation, and that was a huge comfort for me. And I would say that would be something, if you're thinking about it, get with whoever's sharing eXp with you, and hey, I'm sure they'll be happy to find somebody that's in the organization. There's no doubt that's been in your shoes or your size, or no matter how big or small, and give you that comfort on how they did it and the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's an agent-owned model, so everybody's got stock in the company, and with that, I mean, part of the model is, it's a very supportive environment. It's a team environment, so that there are the resources and people that, whatever your situation is, there's somebody in the company somewhere across the country that you can identify with and is there to help.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, and it definitely, you guys did that for me, and that was a big part of me getting over the final hump. Because you go through these things, different steps in your mind, as you're making any business decision. So, yeah.
The beauty with eXp is the collaboration. You're going to find as you get more involved with eXp and get other team players in your team and globally, you're going to find that everybody wants to help each other be successful, and we're there as your team to help you, and you're going to be there to help your team. You're going to also be there to help others that aren't even in your team, because that's part of the collaboration with eXp that I've found, and I know you too, Todd.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I did experience, funny you bring that up, because I did experience that just before I came over. I happened here in Charlotte, I had a business meeting with Rich Tomasini. I didn't know he was an eXp agent. He didn't know I was an eXp agent. We were talking podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff like that, and eXp came up, and even though I wasn't in his team, after our meeting, he's like, hey, if you need anything as far as eXp goes, even though you're not in my quote unquote downline or in my organization, I'd love to be able to help. So I thought that was pretty cool, that people have that mentality, and it goes back to, like you said, all the agents are vested owners in ESP, and if you're taking advantage of some of the great things they have from the stock options and stuff like that, it's powerful. So the rising tide lifts all the boats, and everybody has that mindset, which is great. That's an abundance mindset, and that's the kind of company I want to be with.
That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate your time, and
great.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to working with you guys and
Yeah.
growing this thing in 2020, and hopefully much longer beyond that, building an exciting team for all of us.
That's awesome. And then this is to 2020, a great year, new decade, new opportunity to make decisions. And I'd like to welcome all of you to talk with any of us, with Rich Scola, myself, Grant Richards, or Todd Beddard. That if you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to see the link, themodelexplained.com, which gives you all the details and information that we just alluded to today. But we'd love to talk to you more about it, and I know Rich would too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
you can look me look me up on Facebook, Rich Scola, Scola. You can DM me. I'd be happy to, share my story, my thoughts, anything I can do to be of any help to anybody out there. Just feel free to reach out, and I'm just excited to be a part of this. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate you watching. Talk to you soon.